My fellow magicians, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so, my fellow magicians, let's all go to hell in a fast car and keep it hot. And on today's little pit stop, what this is looking like is that despite, I don't know if this is targeted interference or it's just sort of addressing that on your way to a particular accomplishment, you encountered sort of normal obstacles, whatever those obstacles were, whatever the interference was or tried to be. It's sort of like you didn't get distracted.
You were not distracted by the beautiful celebrities, Derek Zoolander.
Okay, so you will be experiencing a triumph, some sort of goal, some sort of win. You're going to do something that you wanted to do in the first place. And what I'm saying is,
despite interference,
Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, it could be that people tried to interrupt you. It could just be like the Eight of Swords with the Three of Cups. Like the Three of Cups would be like social distractions, indulgences, something like that. It's sort of like you blocked all of that out to accomplish whatever this is. So it might not be so ominous as like there were people who tried to interfere with your stuff. It might not be that, but like there's a little bit of like a weird kind of, Das is being special. A weird sort of a little bit darker energy on this, but it could just be the way that like the Panther cards just are and it doesn't mean anything. So that's the first thing. And then what we have here is the Knight of Swords and self-love. You might be receiving, like this is maybe like kind of receiving accolades or your flowers, like loving supportive messages, or it could be a specific message, Das is being special again, of love from a particular someone, because we're ending with the Three of Wands, the Two of Cups, and evidence. And that's why I was kind of like, what is happening here? It seems like for some of you, there's some sort of like, in the background energies of maybe a little bit, when I'm saying nefarious, it's probably not all that bad, but it's sort of like negative people, negative, like a bit of a negative focus on you that like, this is either, this last thing is somebody who is interested in you, perhaps either for an actual relationship or friendship or creative partnership, whatever. Some sort of compatible relationship. Either this person has been watching you for a little while, like from a distance, right, before they come in. And so after watching you for a while, it could be that that's like, oh, I kind of want to be this person's friend, or I want to establish something with this person. Or this is like a completely outside influence that's kind of watching this relationship happen, and they're like in the background, like, I don't know, it's something about like, I don't want this to happen, or I want to expose these people. There is like an element of targeted interference for some of you with whatever you're trying to do and whoever you're trying to do it with. It doesn't seem too major though. If something like that is going on, it's not for the bulk of people. And if it is going on for a lot of people, it's not something that's like stopping you, it looks like. And so what we have here underneath the Three of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and Triumph is the Seven of Coins. And we've been kind of getting this as some sort of harvest, right? Like something that y'all have been investing in is coming to some sort of material result. And you're gonna be looking at it, maybe deciding whether or not like it's time to like gather the fruit or whatever. So we'll look at that because that's the only tarot that like flipped up of its own accord. And it makes sense with Triumph. So there's something here. There's something here materially that it seems like you've been cultivating, right? And so underneath this Knight of Swords and self-love, oh my gosh, we have the and this weird Ten of Swords has been showing up lately, and it's like, it's got weirdo energy on it. But you see how it's kind of like sabotaging. And I'm not saying somebody wants to sabotage you. It's kind of like in spite of sabotage, it's sort of like something's being communicated to you, like in love, or like if this is an actual person coming in to express their love for you, it's sort of like in spite of some sort of sabotage here, like this is occurring. like people tried to do something, or like maybe forces conspired to try to not have this happen, but it's sort of like this person over here was able to block out distractions, and then another person over here was able to like overcome sabotage maybe in order for whatever this Two of Cups thing is to work. But I don't think whatever these distractions were and whatever this sabotage is, I don't think it's completely gone away. It's sort of like this thing is happening, but it's sort of like those kind of darker forces are like in the background kind of waiting. It's like, oh, we're gonna bide our time and we're gonna try and strike again, bitch. Like, I don't know. But I mean, it is here, so I'm not gonna ignore it. And so there's evidence, Three of Wands, Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands. So this is some sort of new positive incoming thing. It could be a mutual attraction. It could be creative chemistry with the wands, but it's active and it's positive. It might be sexual, but I'm kind of not like, I'm not really feeling that at the moment until I see some more. So we're gonna go around with the big deck again, and then if I have any questions, we'll dig in with the smaller deck, right? Our little detailed deck. But I mean, this is cool. I don't know who these saboteurs are, but you know, that's kind of how it goes. You gotta have obstacles, nothing just like, oh yeah, Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Cups. That's like, there's that positive major shift that we've been talking about, but it seems like whatever you've been building or doing is kind of like in line with what? The mega happy timeline, man, okay? The mega happy timeline is unfolding, and whoever has been building in accordance with the mega happy timeline, like, you're gonna start seeing the manifestations, right? And whoever this person is or this thing, this is also something, because remember I told you, right? Well, some of you don't know, if like you're joining, we have lore on this channel, okay? And so part of what was going on prior to the mega happy timeline is people who were more in line with the mega happy timeline, who were dealing with stuff on the dark timelines. Now, the dark timelines started back when Donald Trump announced his running for the president, like back what, 2015, 2016, whatever. But the dark timelines had been building like before then, right? It was just that like that announcement like ushered in, it cemented in, it is time for the dark timelines. And the dark timelines are finally like breaking up for the most part. And so anybody who was in accordance with the mega happy timeline, it's like anything you would have tried to manifest during the dark timelines, it would have been not working out, and it wouldn't have mattered what you did. You might have had some successes, but it was like, it's falling apart, it's sabotage. Dasa, what's going on over here? She wants to interfere. See, Dasa is a dark force. And so it was destroyed, right? Because typically, like, especially if there were relationships, a lot of the times, if they like came together around that time, it was sort of like one person was on like the mega happy timeline and like another person was on the dark timeline. And there was like these splits going on where people were like falling into the dark timelines and getting trapped down there. And like the mega happy timeline people were like ascending into like, you know, the higher realms or whatever. And then these people might have like woken up and started like trying to like fix stuff and like caught up to the mega happy timelines, and other people didn't. They fell into like sub-hell realms and shit. It's crazy. And so now that people, there was like a contingency of people that were like kind of always on track with the mega happy timeline, even if they wouldn't have called it that, even if they don't like know what that is. But there were other people who are still like dealing with material manifestations from the dark timelines, and that is going to hold people back from like manifesting like their good stuff. So there's this contingency of people who are like completely on track with the mega happy timeline, and they don't have any material manifestations from the dark timelines anymore, like holding them back to that particular state. Then there were these other people here who were more in line with the mega happy timeline, who were still dealing with material manifestations from the dark timelines, which were like relationships, jobs, anything like anchoring them into that space. And all that stuff is going to be like toxic for them, but it takes time to get rid of a material manifestation. And so that's kind of what's been going on over like the past couple of years, is that The people who have been on the mega happy timeline have kind of been holding space for people that were stuck on the dark timelines while they like did all their stuff and are catching up to other people. And so now over the next few years, we're gonna be starting to see more like unions and collectives of people coming together to do things that are going to continue to unfold the mega happy timeline. So likely this might be what this is. We have someone here who is always on the mega happy timeline who didn't deal with any of these distractions. And then we have someone over here who is incoming, who had like dark timeline stuff that they had to get rid of. And now they're in a more positive space. And then over here is the union, but like, you know, the dark forces, you never get rid of the dark forces. They're here serving a purpose. So they're in the background going, yeah, we're going to get these mega happy timeline people. And it's like, okay, bitch, whatever. So let's go ahead and see what is on the Ten of Swords, Page of Cups, Knight of Swords, self-love. What is here is the Four of Coins. So, I mean, somebody's stable. Somebody's stable. It feels like someone's, I don't know, it kind of feels like holding on to something for dear life. But I don't know what that is. It could be their own stability, because coming out of the Ten of Swords is like rough, right? So we'll get one more from the big deck on that. Oh, I got a no on that. Okay. We're moving on. Like, I have questions about what this is because I kind of don't know. And so we'll get our last one or two on the evidence. Three of Wands, Two of Cups, Ace of Wands. The Magician. I was gonna say magic before, like what I was gonna say was like a Baphometian like release of energy or something. The Magician, but I mean it makes sense with the synchronicity. I should have called it. So we have like some magic happening here. There's magic, yang energy. There's an active. There's a force that I don't know if someone's directing it or not. The person who's coming in could very well be an actual magician, an actual practitioner. Could be a man or a male or someone who's just more on the yang side. Who knows? I'll pull over here. I kind of don't have any questions about what's going on with this person. This feels like a separate thing. Like this feels like one collective, and then this feels like kind of a separate collective. Cats are being disruptive. Oh, there's that disruption. There is that disruption. Hermit, Lovers, Five of Wands. This is just a reiteration of this message that like whoever's over here, it's like y'all weren't fucking with people like at all, because like Lovers, Five of Wands is like I'm not dealing with like Three of Cups can be like options, but this is like frivolous stuff. This is sort of like, if it's the Lovers, these are like relationships that you can see, right? Because the Hermit is a wise person. It's sort of like, by my own wisdom, by my own experience, I can see that these people are BS and they're gonna do nothing but like hinder what I'm trying to do in accordance with my own personal fulfillment or the mega happy time, and whatever, my dreams, right? The thing that I'm looking to create. And the Hermit is also like sequestered, secluded, Eight of Swords. I'm not dealing with y'all. Like, I'm not dealing with it. So, I would say that, like, while y'all might have been or be social, it's kind of like y'all aren't fucking with people hardcore. Because, to be real with you, a lot of people are kind of frivolous when it comes to stuff like that. It's like, let's not get into it, but it's kind of like, you know, you gotta pick the right, let the right one in, okay? And so let's go ahead and see. I'm gonna get just three in general on what we have going on our Knight of Swords, self-love. Ten of Swords, Page of Cups, Four of Coins, to see if we get anything more there. And if we don't, I'll ask some more targeted questions. But hopefully it just gives me like an answer and I don't have to do that. Because usually that means like a 10-hour read, right? And I'm just like, this person though, whoever these people are over here, it's like they're hanging on. It's like hanging on to hope. Like the coins are material though. It's just like hanging on to somebody or hanging on to something. It's just like, I gotta hang on to this. I gotta hang on to this. The Sun. Okay. Well, what are these two? This person went through something, whoever this is, the Judgment, that's that 10 of Swords. This person had to pass through some sort of threshold. Judgment, 6 of Swords, they had to travel through something. It's like the river Styx, okay? And I mean, with the 10 of Swords, it makes sense. They had to pass through like a death thing to get to the sun. So that was somebody who had to like, not for real, right? But like they had to metaphorically like cross death, because this person over here had already done that. This person hadn't. But they have now, like, because Tiferet, right, the sun. So people are magicians on, because I'm never saying that shit ever. And so there's gotta be like magicians on this. Okay, like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna move that there. And so sort of the 10 of Swords is whatever the Judgment was. The Page of Cups is okay, so what is this message? Because Knight of Swords and self-love combined is kind of that Page of Cups. Like Knight of Cups would probably be better, but it's like it's making sense for like the synchronicity. So what is this Page of Cups first off? The Ace of Wands is back. So okay, this is like this is a magician. This is like a magician. I don't know. Ace of Wands, Ace of Coins. This is a brand new thing. This is a brand new thing in materiality. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I don't know if this is somebody presenting something to a Queen of Pentacles or if this person is a Queen of Pentacles. If they are a Queen of Pentacles, that's like a nurturing person, someone who's very stable, someone who has money, could be a mom, doesn't have to be. But the thing is, Ace of, like, with the Magician, I don't know. What, I'm getting one on this Queen of Pentacles because this seems way too yangy for like a queen. That's the energy. Maybe this person doesn't move often. Page of Wands. Okay, this is like somebody presenting something. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles is likely whoever this person is on Triumph. And then these energies or these heralds are presenting themselves to the Queen of Pentacles. And so I haven't seen, these are all pages and stuff. Like, I don't, like, what's this Four of Coins? These are people or something that is being presented. These are like gifts or something. These are my gifts. That's from the craft. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this read, but like heavy magic, like heavy practitioner stuff going on here. I don't know, but this seems like a separate person. Or separate people? All right, this Four of Pentacles is the Empress. This is somebody, okay, so the Queen of Pentacles is like the Empress, is this person over here. Somebody's like hanging on to this they're like, I'm hanging on to this person. I'm hanging on to the Empress. I'm hanging on to the Queen of Pentacles. The Seven, I'm defending this person. That's either this person is defending the Empress or the Empress is like, I don't want to deal with you. No, Page of Pentacles, this is like someone who like really wants to be in another person's space and like hang on to them and defend them and like give them things maybe. I don't know. They might want to throw them, if you throw in dick at me, do it. That shit should be big at least. So, okay. All right, so our Two of Cups, we'll just move on from that. So we've got somebody who is over here being like, I want to be with this person. So who is this magician? Ace of Wands with the Two of Cups. Somebody wants to be with somebody. I'll pull some on that evidence as well. Somebody collecting evidence. Knight of Cups. Okay, so that's that Knight of, I told you the Knight of Cups would be better. A better thing for that Knight of Swords, self-love. So the Knight of Cups is here. So this is like Four of Swords. This is like coming in peace. I come in peace. Maybe these are beings. These could be beings. Because pages and stuff. if you high-key do fuck with like aliens, like these are aliens. Like that's the form. It's like, some of y'all have never, like, even though you would have maybe kind of fucked with that, like you've never seen an alien. You've never seen that, you might see that. You might have an experience, right? If you've never had one before. If you're an adult, like, I'm not seeing this as coming in as a trauma. Like, it's gonna be like a dream experience or a psychic experience, if that's what this is. But all of these pages and things like that, if you have never experienced like the glowing whites or anything like that, like that's what this is gonna be for some of you. If you don't mess with that, like this is, I don't know. This is like a dream communication with something or someone, perhaps. It could be. It could be a patron making itself known to you. Queen of Cups, like this is like... And both of these people have their eye, like, see, both of these people have their eyes closed. Like Knight of Cups, Four of Swords, Queen of Cups. It's like dream space. Somebody might try and like astral project into your dreams if they can't like get to you right away. All right, hold on. I want to see, I want to know, is this... I'm getting all this out of here because now I gotta explore, like I have targeted questions now because we're talking about some sort of union here, obviously, and it is positive, but I'm trying to figure out, like, can you tell me, I need more information about whether this is an actual person or if this is an entity. Is this a human or a non-human being? All right, let's see here. Eight of Swords, it might not tell me. Six of Coins, Seven of Swords. That's like, I'm not gonna tell. It's like somebody's giving you something, but it's like secret. And like we've been getting this sort of like something's going from secret to public. Like, ugh. Why is this so secret? But it's like somebody's giving you something. I don't know. I'm gonna pull again because this like big chunk came out, but this is the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles is back, Nine of Wands, Hanged Man. It's like traveling to, this is almost like a manifestation because the Pentacle's in the Queen's hand. It's like the manifestation traveling to the Queen of Pentacles, but it's like guarded, like only somebody who's like enlightened can see this. That's kind of that. I don't want to ignore that, but I'm just like, well, I probably did just, why is this so secret? That probably is the answer to the question and I should just take it, but you know what? We're talking about occulted information. So it's not even going to tell me if this is like a human being or not. The coins is kind of suggesting that it's a material person. It might not be though. It could be a being that is somehow operating in a way that you are going to receive something material from it or them, but it's not a person. It's a non-human being, and I'm probably not going to be able to tell you which it is because it's like, this is for the people who it's for. This is for the initiated people, okay? So I would say if you flat out, oh, the Four of Swords is back, bitch, this is like dream communication. Like, it's like secret communication, silent communication, coded communication, dream communication. And it's a page again, I'm telling you, I'm hardcore feeling like aliens on this. Or like, it would look like aliens to you, but I wouldn't get caught up in like, it's gonna look like, so if you've never, let me look at what this is first. The devil, it's like, but the Two of Wands, to be real with you, with that Two of Wands, that's giving like somebody who's like outside of the matrix, like looking at the matrix. Like this feels like entities, but the devil is just like, that's like material. What, over here with the devil, what's this devil? And then I'll tell you about, if you don't know, how the beings tend to work. And it's like something that fractally repeats. So I don't know where it's coming from, but it tends to look the same way, no matter what beings that they are, right? It follows a similar pattern. At least for the on the plan beings, right? And this feels more like on the plan, even if it is a bit more cosmic. It's still following the established order that we have set in place right now. This is not like the Jack, okay, where it's like something coming in to disrupt the plan. It's like, it's so not gonna tell me. What the devil means though is something material, and it's like a big deal, because I've got Nine of Wands, Two of Coins, the World. It's like you're being presented with material gifts, like something being given to you, but it's like, only like the devil in this case would also be kind of like Baphomet. It's like only for certain people to know. But with the World, it's like a big deal. And also the World and the Two of Wands is kind of like repeat. It's like people who understand the world, people who understand like the occult framework of the world. It's people who have at least stepped outside, at least made their first steps outside of what we're like referring to as the matrix. And it's like everybody else is blocked from this with that Nine of Wands. This is, like I'm saying, this is for the people who it's for. The messages are going to go, like it's secret with the Seven of Swords. That's like encoded shit. It's like only for particular eyes. Like, sorry, not sorry. Okay? So like, I'm saying, like, I'm almost sort of like, be prepared for something maybe weirder than you've ever experienced before, so it doesn't rattle you too much when it happens. Because if you are an adult, right, I was gonna say this, like when somebody has their first experience as an adult, there tends to be more of a danger for that person to have like a mental health ramification for it. Whereas if stuff has been happening to you, like experiencers who have been experiencers, like if you're referring to yourself as an experiencer, it runs in your family, and it's been going, like if some stuff has been happening to you since you were a child, it runs in at least one side of your family. And that's just that. Like there's no other way around that. If stuff has been happening to you, like since you can remember, like since you were born, it runs in your family. Then there are people who do not have their first experience until they're much older. And those are the people who tend to like have their stuff come through like near-death experiences, very, very extreme illnesses, or like one-time traumas. And that like can create psychotic breaks in people when it happens. That's typically where you get people becoming like the prophet type of experiencer, where they have their experience and then they're like flying everywhere, like all over the internet and all over, going heralding like the end times and like shit like that, and creating cults, and like that's how that type of person tends to be established. It's somebody who has their first experience when they're an adult already. Because your mind is more, depending on the type of an adult you are, your mind gets more rigid and brittle when you're an adult. With kids, it's sort of like they're just accepting the stuff as completely normal. And if like you maintain that flexibility throughout your adolescence and adulthood, it's like those tend to be the people who end up as like magicians and stuff like that. The people who forget can like wake up later, but the people who flat out it's never happened to until they're an adult, like that can get kind of fucked up. So I'm telling you, if you've never had an experience but the reading is resonating for you, like kind of like maybe prepare yourself a little bit for that, okay? Or if maybe you have had experiences, this might be something like a bit more direct, a bit more extreme than maybe you're used to. But so if you've never experienced like the beings, right? I don't know where they're coming from. But it's fine. It's not anything like bad or anything like that. But since I've been seeing nothing but pages here, typically the beings, no matter what, tend to go in like a hierarchy. And that's like everybody. Celestial, infernal, and chthonic. Everybody's in some kind of hierarchy if it's an on the plan being, for the most part, okay? For the most part. Well, even the more like chaotic kind of beings still have little heralds. They just do, okay? Like, I don't know. But the big ones are kind of in their own space, and the big ones kind of don't pop up really, or like when they do, it's very, very noticeable, and it tends not to be for like one person. Like when the big ones pop up, that tends to be something that's affecting like nations of people, okay? And so before you start encountering kind of like the beings that you're going to encounter, unless you're doing like some very, very serious like magical work, are going to be the small ones. And then there are the tall ones, but the tall ones are really like the medium ones. And then there's like the big, big, big ones. And the big, big, big ones you typically don't see. And to be real with you, you kind of don't want to see them, okay? Unless you have very, very good reason for it, okay? Like, oh, fuck with the big, well. So, who you tend to encounter first are the little small ones, okay? You're gonna start seeing the small ones. And so that's when, like, if you watch, like, well, I'm getting creeped out. If you watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind or something like that, you see the small ones running around everywhere. And that's like, I know it's a movie, but that tends to be how it looks, okay? Like you've got the small ones, the only difference is those didn't glow. And I'm just like, I'm not even gonna get into the differentiation at the moment, but the ones who don't glow, like some people say that like, if it's glowing, that's how you know that it's a real being because it takes a certain amount of energy to manifest. However, the non-glowing beings do exist and they are real. It's just that they're already here, so they don't have to do, like that's like a chthonic. There's like the celestial or more cosmic version of these beings, and then there's the chthonic versions who don't glow. And then I've had that's like the only type of infernal being that I've ever, no, that's not true. I've run into two, maybe. I've run into one very, very small kind of like underworld beings, very cute, okay? But I didn't know what that was, where I was get the fuck away from me. And I was like, oh no, it's okay. One very small one, and I'm not sure if like I ran into one medium. I don't know if it's I think it's a chthonic being. I don't think it's an underworld being. And those are trash, like you don't want to run into that. So there are these little small ones, right? And then you're gonna end up dealing with the small ones for like typically a prolonged period of time before you're ever gonna like run into like a medium one. And you will see that in Close Encounters, like the medium ones, like the taller, skinnier ones like came off of the ship, but it's like the smaller ones who are doing like all the work. And you will see that replicated like if you have any type of like familiarity with like the Galactic Federation and shit like that. They're always talking about like the mantis beings are like the ones who are in charge, while the grays are actually like not real and they're smaller and they're like constructs. That tends to be true. I'm just saying, don't get like super caught up in like, oh, it's the Galactic Federation and like all this shit. That's just like a way to talk. Most of the stuff that we're talking about is just a way to talk about something that's real, but we kind of don't know what it is. Like, but it's a thing. It's a thing. And so you're probably, if this is like entities and shit, you're going to be encountering the small ones. And then later on, you will deal with like a mid being. These beings are so mid. And so these could be with the devil here, and we have material out on the board. These could be more like chthonic, like earthly beings. I don't know about underworld. I'm not seeing things here like from the underworld, even though I know like the devil, like some people like conflate. To me, I think that's a bad idea. Like the beings of the earth are not the beings that are under the earth. Like that's a separate category of being. And so I don't like to put the two together, but I get why people do. So due to density. So I don't know, like I'm telling you, I'm alluding to some weird shit that you like might be experiencing, okay? So, I mean, we'll just close that out because there's really nothing else I can tell you about it other than like, you're gonna have to do, oh, I actually do, what is this evidence thing? What's this evidence? Proof, I don't know, you might have proof of beings for some of you. You might have, if you know you're like a paranormal investigator or whatever, you might get some interesting like readings or something. If that's how you tend to operate magically, is as a paranormal investigator, but you're also doing like magical work in some capacity. Some of y'all are gonna have, like, don't freak out, okay? But like some of y'all will have like an abduction experience, all right? It's time for you to be abducted. You're gonna have an abduction experience, but oh my God, people are getting sucked up by the beings, bitch. But it's gonna be, it's okay. It's like a happy thing, okay? I know that can be kind of distressing, but you're being sucked up into the ships, bitch. Oh my Lord, because you got work to do apparently. Oh my gosh, so good for you. Evidence, now you can join the club. So the Fool, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Wands. There is somebody who like wants to stop this. They're like, get that stupid, like there are people in the background that are kind of like, we need to fuck up this stupid person, okay, before they come into union with whatever this is. Ooh. And talking about T-birth and all of that, some of y'all are coming into union with your holy guardian angels for real. That could be what this is. And there's something here that wants to stop that. They don't want the union to happen. They want to stop these little idiots from coming into union with whatever this is. Why? It's the dark forces. See, it's the dark timelines. At it again. Team Rocket. I don't know, they just want to stop it. Two of Swords. Queen of Swords. Strength. This is like, I don't know, this is just someone who has very, very strong convictions about not wanting this to happen. I'll look at it one more time and then we're just going to close out. Over here. It doesn't seem like it's going to matter. Hanged Man, yeah, it's kind of like there's nothing this person or these people can do. King of Cups and the Four, there's that holding on to the, see, there might be someone trying to hold on to y'all. Someone like, no, I don't want this person going anywhere. I don't want this person to, Ten of Wands, it's like, yeah, like we want to weigh this person down. Queen of Wands, Five of Cups, Three of Swords, this is like a bent out of shape magician, or it's someone who wants you to be bent out of shape. I don't know. But it's like this is, whoever that is, they're the person like gathering evidence and trying to see if they can like stop things. Fuck them, I don't know. Doesn't seem like you need to worry about it. But so let's go ahead and get our final advice outcome. This has been an interesting read. You're getting the angels, the beings, something's coming to talk to you. Probably at night, bitch, like, oh no. It's probably gonna stress you out when this happens. Three of Wands, it's like incoming. I'm gonna go another row. It's like, it's something that's been watching you. It's like almost like this has been like circling around you for a while. The Lovers, some of y'all, this, seriously, this is like knowledge and conversation of your holy guardian angel. Or it's a patron, that's like a patron god or goddess. It's something you're tied to. That's kind of been like waiting for conditions to be right. It's a positive thing though, is what I want to say. Even if it does stress you out, it's, fear not. Be not afraid, bitch. But y'all know how that looks, right? The many eyes and like wheels within wheels. Come on, it's kind of like, oop, you might poop yourself the first time. I don't know. Yeah, but this is positive. Like, here's the thing, is that like, the initial experience might be fairly stressful, or it's just talking about this is gonna happen in like a lucid dream or like a waking dream, something like that. But it's gonna ultimately be positive for you with that Six of Wands. It's sort of like, that's also marking somebody as like, this person has passed like this particular grade successfully. That's what that is. So even, and you might be thinking to yourself, but I haven't been doing any rituals. Like I haven't been doing, like if the message is hitting for you, right? You, at this point in everybody's progression, right? You actually, for the most part, don't have to do that to have the same process happen to you. You can do it in a completely organic way that will be structured for you. You will achieve the same result as most of the very like basic like stuff that you used to have to be in a lodge or an order or be doing specific rituals to achieve or attain, like the basic stuff. A lot of that stuff now, you don't have to be. It just organically happens through like synchronicities, and like if you would just have the intention out there, things will work out for you so that you will go through a series of life experiences that if you pass through them successfully, like in the way that you're supposed to, it's gonna do to you inwardly what those older occult processes would have done. And I mean, you can still do it through an order or a lodge or whatever. I'm just saying you don't have to. But typically once you get past the basics, or once you start wanting to do more complex things, you typically have to have some kind of structure on that, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. But for the basic stuff, like you don't need that. So if you know you put the intention out there and you can kind of see how stuff has been linking up, I would say like prepare thyself. Three of Wands, oh bitch, High Priestess and Death, like someone's moving up a level or several levels, I don't know. But it's major. It's a major thing. It's incoming. And like Death and the High Priestess, again, that's like secret knowledge, major secret knowledge, major transformation, but it's happening privately. So that's the final, that's like an outcome. That's not advice. So my fellow magicians, let us all reach out and touch faith. Let's get a little bit of personal Jesus on this. All right, Jesus says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Poor in spirit is, that's like talking about an evolutionary thing. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom. It's like you've been at one, like low, you've been at the Negredo. We're doing some sort of alchemy in here, okay? And like you're going, that is like ascending to Tibereth or something like that, or like something else, okay? Jesus also says anything is possible if a person believes. That's what I'm telling you. You do not necessarily have to have been doing like Golden Dawn shit, Talima shit, OTO shit, Masonry, whatever. You don't necessarily have to have been doing that for this to occur, all right? Jesus finally says, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. That means like this is going to occur. Likely, here's the thing, because everything's pre-recorded, right? Likely you've already like passed all that. That's what that triumph is. You've already gone through everything that you need to go through, like spiritually. You've already been through whatever trials that you need to go through that would have happened in your real life. It's sort of like what is going to happen now is going to be like, it's like a crowning ceremony with that Six of Wands for whatever like part of this process that you're on. It's sort of like, this is just, there's nothing that you really have to contend with when this happens. It's just sort of like, this is happening now because this is the part of the process that we're on. So like you have endured, your faith has saved you. Like I told you, we had that Hermit card at the beginning of the read. Like there's something that you dedicated yourself to here that now you're going to experience the magical, spiritual, esoteric, mystical result of, all right? So let us officially close out, as we mostly always do, with the words of the highest authority. That highest authority, of course, being Bob. Our Father who art in heaven. We close with the word of Bob that is good all the time. All right, Bob says, find freedom on this canvas. You, my fellow magician, are taking the next step into total human liberation on the microcosm. Okay, that's what this is. No matter how this looks, you are leaving the matrix. You're no longer of the world. You'll be in the world, but you're not going to be of the world. So some people are maybe making their first step. Some people are making their several-ish step, but you are going to have a deeper understanding of the way this all works. Your perception on things and the way things operate is going to change. It's going to evolve yet again. This is like a mystical version of another great spiritual awakening, okay? Bob also says, we just show you how, but you make the decisions. When you have this much power, you have to make big decisions. This is talking about how you've already done the work, but also it's sort of like having been monitored by whatever, however this is materializing to you, to bestow you with whatever this is, okay? It's sort of like, once you do that, once you come into more power, new power, you're going to have more responsibilities. Your moves within the world are going to have more impact, so you cannot be as frivolous. That is why the way tends to become narrower the more power, spiritual power, earthly power that is bestowed unto you, because once that happens, you can't just do things like you were doing them before, or else like it tends to like fuck you up and other people up. It's how things tend to go bad, okay? When we're not walking the line in accordance with what we've been gifted or earned, achieved, whatever. Bob finally says, painting will bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. So whatever this is, even if this is kind of a weirdo thing, this is a good thing, okay? And like painting, that's magic. In this case, it's creation. The practice of magic will bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. So like, however you've been doing this, you've been doing it in the positive. You've probably been doing it within like a sense or current of fulfillment, personal fulfillment, and that is going to be fed back to you magically. So, my fellow magicians, this is reality, and I am your GM, your game master for this, the game of life. But it is we, in fact, who are the greatest magicians of the age and perhaps the greatest magicians of all time. And together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once, fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift our world onto the mega happy timeline, perhaps leaving it a much better place than it ever has been before. Because, my fellow magicians, nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays.